We gotta do different things.
Do something different. We do things
different.
That's right. Right here on the D&D Leveling Up Podcast. And if you don't know, now you know. Don't ever forget that you know now, all right? Make sure you know to go like and subscribe. That's right. Get down there. Like and subscribe. Go ahead. Right? And if you're reading my shirt, it says what it says. Right? All right? You can get one of these right now on the website right now, okay?
Get it.
I'll show you where to get one of these, all right?
Get it.
All right, but for real, let's get down to it, man.
Okay.
Trusting people to be who they say they are.
Yes.
When they tell you that I'm late,
CP
I don't
time,
show
bro.
up.
CP time.
I'm bad at time. They have said this to you with the I in front of it, which makes it even stronger.
Yeah.
It's now in them that because they said it again.
They said it again. They repeated.
If they could say it to you, imagine how many times they said it to themselves.
That's true. And so they reinforce. I sent you a video where you start reinforce. Remember that video? I don't know if you've seen it, but basically the words that you have reinforce in your body the things you want to attract to yourself.
There it is.
So you just continuously in your mind the things you speak and what you think, they continuously reinforce these affirmations, whether negative or positive, into your life. So it don't make any difference.
There it is. It don't make no difference. And you know, this is the most powerful thing you could do is to put I am before something.
Yes.
The most powerful thing you could do with words is putting I am before something. And imagine all those things we put I am before.
Yeah. I am this. I am that.
I am this negative. I am that negative.
Yeah.
I am that negative. And then you don't put nothing in front of you that reinforces the good sides of you.
Yeah.
So you end up, manifesting. Y'all, everybody that's on this manifesting, you end up manifesting the exact same thing that you're saying. Like you're only making yourself reinforce it. Your brain doesn't know the difference in between good or bad.
Yeah.
Your universe doesn't know the difference between good and bad.
Yeah. When
you say it, it's in motion.
And it attracts whatever you put in motion.
There it is.
That's the thing. And that's where you got to really watch your words and watch your mindset. Because your mindset starts coming, it starts to germinate in your head. And that brings things to come out of you. Yep. And the Bible talks about the fact that the things that defile you are the things that come out of you. Not the things on the outside. You know what I'm saying? It's things that defile you, the things that are coming out of you. Because, we talked about this whole thing about people who could actually, but if you surround yourself, your network or your net is connected to your network, right?
Yep.
So if you have a situation where you're around poor people, you have poor people mindset.
Poor people mindsets.
You
people that say they're poor.
Exactly.
That say, I am
this.
I am this lesser. I am that lesser.
Exactly.
You surround yourself with that. Those words, you don't know that those words, we talk about getting a little deep talking about like vibrations.
I know, right?
But it brings me to that, like, we're in harmony with the universe.
Yeah.
All right. So when you say something, the universe responds back.
Yeah.
It gives you back that same frequency. You have to be careful with your words. It's one of the biggest things you could ever do.
Yeah. Because there's also a study that when words come out, they come out as light. Ooh. You know that? Like when it comes out, so sound comes out as like light. It actually comes out as light when it's analyzed.
Yeah.
So when you actually have sound actually converts into light. So when you're speaking to somebody, right, that's light that's coming out to those.
We on that ultralight beam.
You
hear me? We on that ultralight beam. Bro. Shout out to Kanye.
Shout out to Kanye. Right? He's a genius.
He's a genius. We on that ultralight beam.
Can you imagine that? So if that's the case, right? You're speaking certain things into your life, and it's somewhat, you know how light refracts,
right?
And it bounces off of different things.
Yep.
Like you could be speaking something out, and it hits the wall, comes right back to you.
Come right back to
you. You know what I'm saying? So that's when people are always talking about karma and all type of crazy other things. You could be just speaking things into existence
and making it happen,
and just making it happen. And so we talked about one thing that us with our people's. It's CP time. You know what I'm saying? To believe people who they say they are, but also the fact that some people can bring things out of you that is not true. That's not true.
Man, talk about it,
you know what I'm saying? Man. So, hey, listen,
man. It gets into it, man. It gets deep.
It gets deep. So,
this is ridiculous.
You got to recognize, like, who you are. because and who your character is, because you know things that are not of your character. It's almost like the Bible talks about when two become one, and not to get involved to bind yourself to a prostitute, because basically you're going to become one with that individual. So whatever they have to give, whether it's positive or negative in their life, that gets into you. Whether when you're married, your partner, you start assimilating some of their characteristics. That's why sometimes when you see people who are like married, they kind of look like brothers and sisters.
Like each other for a minute.
They look like each other because they're becoming one. The two become one. So that happens no matter what. Yep. You become one intimately. You start becoming one with that person. So you got to start looking at the individual like, do I want to take on some of the characteristics of that person? Are they going to propel me in life? Because some people have characteristics, bad characteristics, that if you align with them, those things can destroy your life. You know what I'm saying? They really can destroy your life. You got to be able to see like, yo, if I align myself with this person, they haven't fixed these issues in their life. If I align my spirit, my body, my soul, and intellect, and everything that I have with this individual, this person can actually destroy me, because they're bringing things out of me that I don't expect, and the things that might be in them that really weren't in me in the first place, but now they're in me, and now I've got to deal with their issues. Not only that they have their own issues, I got to deal with the issues because their issues have combined with my issues. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Boy. So now you got issues on both sides. And you got to recognize, like, hey, let me take inventory. Like, this is not my character. Why am I acting like this? Because you're being influenced by the individual that's around you, and you're not in that same mindset that's in them has come into your mindset, and you bonded with them. So now you're bonded with an individual who is not taking you to the next level. So that's why you're like, we talked about the whole thing about your network. Your net worth is connected to your network. And your network is connected to all the people you got surrounding in your surrounding circles. If you don't have people that are helping you get to the next level, it's almost like I was looking at this meme with this other guy, a gentleman who's very successful. He was saying, if you come to an individual who's a high net worth person, they're not going to come and open their arms and start like, say, hey man, I'm going to come here and help you. I'm going to mentor you and do all these things. You've got to get to the certain point where you level yourself up to get in the rooms with these individuals, and they know if you're in this room, there's something about you. Yep. So you got to be in the rooms. So how do you get? So you got to continue to level yourself up. You got to educate yourself. You got to get yourself in a situation where you're in the rooms with those individuals, so they know, like, hey, you bona fide. Because if you weren't bona fide, you wouldn't even be here.
You wouldn't even be here. Man.
You know what I'm saying?
And that speaks to like our last interview with Angel Jones. Angel Jones was spitting that fire.
Oh man, she was killing it.
If you haven't checked it out, go check out the interview.
Golden Angel.
Jones, okay? Yeah. Golden Angel.
Check it
Management, out. Okay? Make sure you go check that. She talked about Les Brown talking about quality people only. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Quality people only. Why do you want quality people only around you? Yeah. Everything that Dirk just said. That's why you want quality people around you. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Because it levels you up. Yeah. And it keeps steel sharpens steel. So if you got a piece of wood around you, they only dulling you. Yeah. They're only making
iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. Yeah. So you gotta get with some like-minded people. Yeah. Some equally yoked people, or even maybe they got a bigger yoke than you. They got to. You know what I'm saying? If they got a lesser one, then you're doing a lot of teaching. Yeah. And you're not doing a lot of learning. Yeah. Right. So we gotta get around quality people only, man.
There was also one thing she did say that was very different. What I got from was you should have a mentor. You should also be at a certain level where you're under your mentor, but then you should have a mentee. So you should have somebody who's your protege that you're helping to pull up, and then you should be able to have a mentor or a coach that gets you to the certain level. So then you just each can continue kind of grabbing and getting each other to the next level. So that and having that circle, you have somebody to be accountable for, and then somebody to be accountable to you at the same time. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, you need to have a peer. So that person who's on the same level as you, and that person on the same level as you should also be trying to level up too. You don't want them to just be there and just, she did say there was something interesting is that, she doesn't take any information or any advice from people on her peers. I kind of tend to disagree. I think your peers I think anybody who has something substantial, if they're even in your own atmosphere, they must have some type of thing to offer. You know what what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's things that you might not be able to see because they have a different perspective. And I think you should always look at all type of perspectives. You can't just look at one perspective over another. You gotta be, and you also have to have the ability to learn and realize you can learn from anybody. I was looking at this guy who was a jeweler, and this also is reflective of her. She started in her business like very early on, so it's very easy. Well, I wouldn't say it's very easy, but the fact that she had consistent work ethic to stay in that business for so long and learn those different aspects help her become successful. There was a guy who was a jeweler. He started in jewelry when he was 15. He's a multimillionaire now, but he started when he was 15. Now he's like 62. But he said the most important thing that he recognized in business is to be honorable. To be honorable, to have integrity, to keep your word. Like, if you tell me something, like, I don't have a problem if you tell me, like, listen, we're gonna do this at this time, and then something happens, you call me or you email me, say, hey, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That to me is integrity. If you just leave me hanging and I don't know what's going on because certain circumstances, it shows me your lack of integrity. You know what I'm saying? And
that right there is just, it'd be like unexcusable, bro. Yeah. Sometimes you'd be like, look, if I let you continue to be unintegral around me, if I do it once, you'll be like, oh, it might happen by chance. If I do it twice, you're banking on it the next time you get to do it. You do it 3 times, it's a habit. The 4th time, you're going to be like, oh, it's expected.
It's expected.
You know what I'm saying? So the disrespect in that way is unacceptable.
Bro.
Some things you just... This is crazy, the things we find like disrespectful or unacceptable. Man, but the serious things, the things about keeping people to their word, we let slide.
Bro, the worst part about it? Sometimes, there's something in his word. It's different for men in terms of respect. Like, you have to have respect as a man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could kill you over a disrespect. Yes, sir. Or a slight. Your whole life could end.
That
day because you scuffed somebody's shoes.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we, as men, when we get insulted about certain things or certain situations, you're ready to go to war.
It's time to go to war.
You want to go to war. It's your sensibility. You carry this as a man. Women. I saw this meme about this lady who became she trans to a man, right? And she eventually, unfortunately, she committed suicide. And one of the things it was really sad. And she said it was harder for her to be a man than it is to be a woman. And that was what was depressing her. Because she wanted to transition to be a man, and she's like, I'm going to go back to being a woman. She said, men need a lot more attention than we were giving them. You know what I'm saying? Yep. There are a lot more things that they're dealing with that I didn't have a concept or a clue of. Because she kind of looked kind of like a guy. And, you know what I'm saying?
She was doing the guy thing.
She was doing the guy thing. And she was pretending and being perceived as a man. She didn't realize it's a different carrying. It's a different burden to be a man. It's almost like no one cares that you're a man.
No
one cares.
Nobody. There's nobody out there going, oh, we got to protect the men. No, nobody's doing that.
They'll protect your feelings? Nothing. No. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to.
You don't want to. And people do not care how men feel about anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't care how you feel. So all this amount of things that you got to carry, whether it's family, friends, individuals who are against you in situations, you got to carry that stuff all the time. So you got to learn. Like, it's good if you have somebody like a spouse or somebody who can unburden that. Like, we're musicians, so there's a lot of things that we can take. We could take and express and get that out. Like me doing martial arts, I can express that into martial arts and get my anger or get those things out of my spirit and unload. But not everybody has those opportunities.
No, not everybody.
You know what I'm saying? No. I want to discuss this thing with Tyrese.
Oh, man. Man, talking about disrespect.
Disrespect,
bro. Disrespect that friends can feel.
Yeah.
When friends are going through. perceived or what you perceived, it might not be it.
Yeah.
The things that went on in this conversation, Dirk, you sent me this video today, man, and I was just like, I seen part of it.
Yeah.
But to watch the whole thing, let's talk about it,
Let's
man.
talk about it. So basically, Tyrese was coming to mend his relationship with DJ Envy and also with Charlamagne the God. And they had a situation where he was on some psych medicine, so he was responding in different ways and saying crazy stuff on this medicine, and then was apologizing for the fact that he said these things. He said, I don't even remember saying these things. And so because he said these things, the things that he said were probably very hurtful.
Very hurtful. They weren't just, and they were aimed at, the things that he said was aimed at a specific person in DJ Envy's life.
Yeah, exactly.
So, DJ Envy's like, I don't play about this person, that person, that person. And he named everybody in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't name himself. He said, you can talk about me bad all you want.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I don't play about it.
Yeah. And so his problem is that he was going, like DJ Envy was going through something in his marriage. So Tyrese came in of his own accord and started helping him repair his marriage. Came and he went to a restaurant. He was a mediator between him and his wife. He came and sang for them, sat down with them, invested his time, you know what I'm saying, to kind of repair the situation because he had, Envy had cheated on his wife. Yeah. And so his wife was like pretty much done with him. But Tyrese was a person who was in the middle of it and was able to try to bring them closer together. He used his talent, his gifts, you know what I'm saying, to come and sing, had a violin, set them up at a restaurant after he was singing the song Stay, which is, I guess, Envy's favorite song. You know what I'm saying? Sang the song to him and his wife, so to give them, of course, inspiration to stay together. And then sat down and talked with them and just helped repair whatever the wound that came in that, of course, DJ Envy created. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because he created that situation.
He created that monster, man.
You know what I'm saying? You created, but then now the reason why he has an issue, now Tyrese had an issue because, like, I'm going through all this stuff. When it was my time to go through the things that I'm going through with his divorce and all the things you've been dealing with, now I can't find you nowhere. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? But Envy's response was that the person that I saw, right, this is the person was responding in a certain way. It wasn't my brother was responding. It was the drugs, and I didn't want to get down with that, and I take a step back.
I didn't want to see you like that.
I didn't want to see you like that.
Plus, you offended my wife.
You offended my wife.
So you already I gotta put you in that corner.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So I want you to play devil's advocate about this because now you have a situation where he was, well, I wasn't even responsible for that. I didn't even know what I was doing at that point. Like, why didn't you come and help me as I have helped you? You know what I'm saying?
I get that, bro. But I want to play the other side of that, right? Okay. When you say God sent you to do something.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I know where you're going.
When you say God sent you to do something, you're not looking to get anything back from that. True. You already already got what you needed from that. Was that the fact that God even came down to tell you to do that? Yeah. Was your mission? You're not supposed to expect anything. You're not expecting anything from him. You got your blessing by doing what God said to do. Yeah, it's true. It's not, oh, yeah, I did something for you during your marriage. I was like, but God sent me to do it. Well, you didn't do it then. Exactly. You didn't do this of your own accord. Yeah, that's true. You didn't do this out your own mind to do this. That's true. God said, if you saying God sent you to do this, you didn't do it. That's true. You said yes to God. Yeah, exactly. You didn't say yes to the activity. That's true. You said, God, I'll follow your instructions and your lead, and this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Whether that was your brother or not, God will send you to do things for people you don't even know. Exactly. Okay? And you can't sit there and expect something back. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, just because you did all of that, you said you did it for God. Now you did all that, okay? Let's say you did all that. You want something back for it. when you put God told me to do it on it, you canceled all expectations of something coming back to you through that person.
Because it was an assignment.
Don't expect much from them.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't what God had you to do.
Yeah.
He didn't say, go do this for envy and then get something back from it.
That's true. And you know what? God could have provided maybe envy. See, this is the thing. That's expecting to look for something
there it is.
Back in the place that you deposited something.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because see, it wasn't you who was depositing it. It was God.
It wasn't you. God made that move for him to bring his family back together.
Exactly.
Through you.
Through you. He was using you.
He used you to do it.
Yeah.
So you can't ask for reparations for something God told you to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm not from the this relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you can expect it from God. Like, God, you told me to do what I need to do. Now, you said if I did what you do, you said if I put you in dominion of my life, which I did by answering the call, you would do this, this, and this. Yeah. He didn't say you're going to have the best relationship with the person you did that
That's
for.
True. And sometimes your blessing doesn't come from people that always you agree with or even like.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
That blessing comes from anyone because we are what? We be careful who we entertain because we might entertain the angels. That's true. Be careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not careful. I can't even say be careful. I learned what careful means. Yeah. I don't want to be care-filled. Full of care, like worried about things. Yeah. Don't want to do that. All right, but back on track, like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
When you say God told you to do something, the grace that you asking for back doesn't always come through the people that you gave to.
Bro. Say it again, bro. Say it again.
Their job. Yeah. Their job doesn't allow them to big up you.
Exactly.
Their platform doesn't
allow them.
You asking the wrong people.
To give them, because this is the worst part about it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, well, next time y'all go after somebody, I know you got your job to do, but I want you to give me grace.
I want you to give me grace. Like, why do you
deserve to get grace?
Why do you get grace?
That's what I'm saying.
Who got grace?
Because we have a relationship.
Who got grace?
That's what I'm saying.
Who got grace from the Breakfast Club?
Exactly. So I can do my job. It's almost like this. It's like, don't do your job, but when you do your job, just make sure not to do your job as hard as you normally do it.
There you go.
So
just don't go as hard on me, okay? So it doesn't affect me because I was doing what God said to do, and now I want something back from what God asked me to do. Yeah, that's what it really is. That's what it is. You want something back from what God asked you to do. And you want it from that person
that you deposited
into. Exactly. That's not the contract. That's not God's contract.
Exactly.
Because that's not it.
He didn't give you allowance. He didn't. And this is the thing. You expected from that because you brought it there, but you didn't bring it there. God directed you to do that, but He never said to you, "Oh, envy is going to come and
give it back to you.
Give it back to you.
And fix it back.
Fix it back.
Fix it for you.
He might not be the person that can fix it back. You know what I'm saying? Just because you had the notion or the unction that God helped you get to that point to do it, it was on your heart, doesn't mean, and this is the thing, one thing I was looking at this meme about, is that the Bible talks about don't be over righteous. You know what I'm saying? Don't be overtly righteous. And this other meme was like, don't be overly forgiving or overly kind because you're going to be abused. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's almost like you're abusing yourself because you have an expectation for somebody to do something that they never expected to do in the first place.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Your expectation is off because now you're like, oh, envy, I was doing this out of the goodness of my heart because I was directed by God. Why don't you believe in God?
Why don't you give it back? Why don't you reciprocate? I'm like, that's not how that goes.
That's not how it goes. And his notion was like, I didn't want to reciprocate because I didn't feel that because I was disrespected based on when you were on your psych meds or wherever you were out of your mind, that person who was responding to me was not the person who was fixing my marriage. And I didn't want to talk to that person.
I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to deal with that. That right there, you need to deal with on your own. You need to go, because once you cross that line,
you cross
that line, like you have to be put over here.
Exactly. You got to be put in this box.
All right. Until we feel differently, you're going to be put in this box.
Yeah.
Because the only like relationship that really matters at that point is between you and your wife.
Exactly.
Like you're dispensable.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't care what you did for the two of us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are not part of this cord.
Yeah.
You helped.
Yeah.
But you only helped because you were told to help.
Exactly.
You act like you did it out of the kindness of your heart. If you did it out of the kindness of your heart, say that.
Exactly.
Don't put God in it, because once you put God in it, now you've done it for God. Yeah. You didn't do it for them too. Okay? Yeah. Don't sit up there and in the whole interview. I didn't like that, bro. I didn't like that. It's kind of it's low key
manipulation.
It's low key manipulation, bro. Like, and it just felt like that every time he said something. I was like, yo, nah.
It's interesting you talk about manipulation. So I sent you something where it says manipulation is when a person gets mad at you or angry at you because you correct them for disrespecting you.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? How is it you're going to blame me for something when I'm correcting you? So I felt. So you disrespected me. Now you're mad at me for correcting you for disrespecting me.
How?
How does that make any type of sense?
Like you're mad. Like you're mad. You're big mad too.
Yeah.
Like that's and that's how people do in relationships too. Like the ladies, some of y'all ladies out here, you know what I'm saying? I hear different stories. Y'all get on the soapbox and the guy's mad with you, so now you gotta get mad with him. Yeah. So you can take the upper hand. Like you're mad that he's mad.
Exactly.
You don't listen. Yeah. You don't take that extra time to try and listen to what he's really saying to you. Yeah. You take it word for word and then you change those words. Bro. Which is inappropriate.
Switch and then, it's indicative of a lot of relationships between men and women. Like there's some I'm not gonna say this is all women because everyone is different. But there's some women that do manipulate situations where like they'll just turn that it could be wrong. They'll just turn the whole situation like you're the blame. Like you're the reason why I'm mad because of what you did.
Because you're bringing this to me. Exactly. You get to be it.
Exactly.
Just because you know what I'm saying, I don't like that. I do not agree with that right now. No,
not at all.
If I'm upset, I'm upset.
Exactly. Allow me to
be upset. When you're upset, you're upset. Exactly. I don't get mad that you're upset.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Because you know what? We live in this world where everything has to be picture perfect. And if it's not the way that the other person perceives it to be, then they get mad about it. And to be honest with you, it's not allowing the person to live their own true self in life. Because you're not always going to agree with everything that the person says. You're not. But if you don't allow me to feel, this is the thing. It's like people won't allow you to feel what you feel. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. Because they're like, well, you feeling this way makes me feel uncomfortable. Well,
maybe it should.
It should make you feel uncomfortable.
You should investigate why you feel uncomfortable about me feeling bad.
Exactly.
Why does that make you uncomfortable? Why should that translate to you being uncomfortable? Uh-huh. And if you take the time to think about it and think it through instead of just reacting to what somebody says to you.
Exactly.
You could learn something from the situation, but we're not about learning, bro.
No, because they're not. Because I'll give you an example. Sometimes people are in situations, they're not even listening to what you're saying. Nope. They're just reacting to what you said so they can react again.
Big reaction.
You know what I'm saying? And so they want to win the conversation instead of repair the relationship. Woo! You know what I'm saying? So they want to win so much. It's almost like, I tell people all the time that it's not what you say sometimes, it's how you say it.
A lot of it is how you say it, man. It's how you get across to that person. It's how you get that feeling across to somebody. And but the problem is, Dirk, you could sit there and you could take your time to not say it as mad as you want to say it. You could spend all day scripting this how I feel, and then you still have to accept that the other person might not understand what you're saying. And that is disappointing.
It is disappointing.
It's big disappointing to the point where you hear what they have to say, you know it's so wrong, and then you blow up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's interesting.
It's crazy.
You know, and this is on. You know, like I think of things in terms of thinking of the end in mind. I always think about things like that. So it's almost like when you play chess, right? I always think about the end in mind. I never think about anytime I have a situation. I always think, okay, what is the consequence from the actions that I'm taking now, and what should possibly happen at this point? Some people, just based on their track record of who they are, it's almost like you could almost predict their conversation with them. So you know, like talking to them is not going to break through in any type of way.
It just sometimes it just doesn't. Some people just made like that.
They just made like that. You know, if they say this, they're going to say that. They're going to say this, they're going to say that, and they're going to take the words that you have, they're going to twist it around.
Flip it around.
You know what I'm saying?
Make it something else.
Make it something completely else. And then you're going to be like, you know what? I knew this was going to happen anyway.
I knew it.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew it. Well, at the same time, you probably manifested that I knew it too.
That's true.
If you thought about it all day, you thought it was going to be like that, you asked for it to be like that.
You asked for it to be like that. But you know, it's also sometimes you just know those individuals.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You know how they're going to act. You're with them a large amount of time you spend with them. You know their reactions, their basic reactions, and some of those reactions are from their insecurities.
Yeah, I feel like, to add to that, bro, I feel like we put people, we talked about this last week too, we put people in our lives to keep, I'm going to say it like this. Some people put people in their lives to keep their lie going.
Ooh. Wow.
So, like we said last week, we talked about putting people in your lives to punish yourself.
Yeah.
Punishing yourself. You knew what that person was like as soon as you saw them.
That's true.
Immediately. You knew that the energy was like, I can predict what this is going to be like.
Exactly.
I'm used to it being like this. Let me pick somebody that does this.
Yeah.
Even though they might be a detriment to you.
Yeah.
Because you don't love yourself enough to pick somebody that won't do it.
Yeah. You
end up surrounding yourself with people that do that same thing that you don't like, so that you can have the predictability.
Yeah, of comfort.
And not have to change.
And comfort.
You don't have to change.
You don't have to change.
If you're around that type of person.
Exactly.
You don't ever have to change.
That's true. And you know what? I realized that insecurity makes you comfortable.
Ooh.
So you're comfortable.
You'll sit in that.
You're sitting at it and you're comfortable picking that. But you know why? Because you expect it and it's comfortable. Then the people who don't make you feel comfortable, who are going to level you up, you don't want to be around them because now you got to change.
That's right. Now you got to change. And that's what it's going to be next week on Why Comfort is Killing You.
Yeah.
That's the next one. I'm speaking it now. The next podcast is called Why Comfort is Killing You.
Yeah, you got to get out your comfort zone.
That's right. Right here on the D&D Leveling Up Podcast. And if you don't know, now you know. That's right, y'all. Deuces. Check you later.
Yo.
Yeah.